you live from the RMIT studios in the heart of Melbourne, a city so popular it's putting on extra services. It's StudioA with Dave Thornton. On this week's show, regular guests Jess Harris and Fox Klein. Music from Tom Woodward and his band The Orphanage. Comedy from Carl Chandler. And special guests Felicity Ward and Victorian State Premier John Brumby. But now please welcome the host of StudioA, Mr. Dave Thornton.
Thank you. I've been Dave Thornton. Good night. Thanks, guys. No. Hello and welcome to Studio A. We obviously this week is going to be a big week because there is a lot of festivals on. But as many people may have been reading in the newspapers, this week is a big week because Andre Rieu is in town. Now, I know I said that wrong. I don't know how to say his name. Do you guys know? Is it Rieu? Andre Rieu? I sound like I'm just vomiting. The Dutch violinist is in town. Are you guys excited about that? No, you just paused, and then the warm-up guy, and you all looked at him and went, okay. I might as well have just said the Black Plague is in town. Everyone went, no, not really. But Andre, okay, let's just call him that. He's in town. He's the Dutch violinist. He's got a massive show. It's going to be on at the Telstra Dome. I don't know if you guys have heard, there's ice skaters, there's horses, there's this, it's a show spectacular. He's got a massive symphony orchestra behind him. It costs $5 million each show. And it's been whispered that in some states, when it gets to the end of the show, while he's playing his violin, he actually cries. That's not because he's getting emotional, he's just realised his ticket sales conversion rate. He's just going, $200, that's like €2. I can't even buy a coffee with that. Jeez. I'm going to have to get second-hand clogs. This is not working. You crazy Dutch bastard. But it is the week of festivals because actually this week in Melbourne we've got the Italian festival, the Spanish festival, and actually the Polish festival is on. Yeah, it was one Polish person in the audience. That's really good. It's through all these festivals on, which is great. Like, I like a good festival. I was actually over in Spain when I enjoyed a festival that was over there. I don't know if anyone here in the audience or in TV land have actually gone over to Spain to enjoy a festival called the Festival de San Fermin. Has anyone heard of this festival? It's an interesting little festival that's actually in Pamplona. Now, Pamplona is a small village somewhere in the middle of Spain. And there, actually for 2 weeks I should say, in July, people congregate into the city square and they run through the cobblestone city streets to the bullfighting ring in a religious festival to get themselves closer to Jesus. Now, it sounds fun. Granted, it does sound fun, but you see, because they're Spanish and a little bit loco, they look at each other and go, you know what, Pablo? This running, she's fun. But do you know what will be more fun? No, what, Jose? Running with bulls. No, I ran with the bulls. It's not fun. Like, I know what fun is. Fun is when you go to a mate's party, you get a little bit tipsy, you pull your pants down, you put your doodle between your legs and you go, I'm a lady, I'm a lady. Right? The audience didn't care that a Dutch guy's come across the world to play violin with the symphony orchestra. I say I pull my pants off and they go, oh, yep. That is brilliant. Like, it's amazing. If anyone thinks they're doing this, it's crazy. You get running in the bulls, you try to run with a bull. The thing is, you can't. A bull is tons and tons of weight and can run the 100 in under 6 seconds. Yeah, that's right. The thing is, it's like 2 steroid-infused Ben Johnsons, just gaffer taped together in a tank with pitchforks out the front. The thing is, they don't even need to hit you. Do you know that a bull's scrotal circumference is actually 40 centimetres? If a bull wants to, it could teabag you to death. We've found the studio audience's level. Now, even though that sounds like fun, hopefully tonight we'll have a little bit more fun than that. We have regular guests on the show tonight, Jess Harris and Fox Klein. We have music, as Oliver said, from Tom Woodward and the band The Orphanage. We've got comedy from the very funny Carl Chandler and special guests Felicity Ward and State Premier, the Honourable John Brumby. So it's going to be a massive show, guys. But before we go on, welcome to StudioA Band. Now, with the impending financial crisis, many homeowners have decided it's time to sell up, which is completely understandable. Much like I believe there was one here of Mr. G.W. Bush, who put this on the market only last week. I heard it's going cheap to pay for some financial debts the owner has incurred from work. But people around the country have begun to sell up, but have found they're going a little tough as auction reserves haven't been met. So here at StudioA, we're always sympathetic, always ready to lend a hand. So here you have it, the StudioA's tips for adding value to your home. Now, firstly, tip number 1, decorate. Using mirrors can make a room look bigger. We all know that. So place one huge mirror on your house's roof and then make it seem like you've got a double story. Alternatively, you can just put mags on your house and racing stripes, giving the impression that the house is faster than it actually is. Secondly, I was just going to say teabag. Does that get a laugh? Come on. Do we just find them from Jerry Springer and go, come into our show? Secondly, if you want to boost your house, promote. Tell prospective buyers that the house was owned by a little old lady who only used it before church on a Sunday. And tell everyone who wants to hear it that the backyard now seems so much more roomy since the 10-kilogram nugget of gold was dug up. And it always pays to advertise. Like, think of a clever, interesting selling point. For instance, after you're exposed in the news for keeping your kids in the basement for 20 years, advertise your house as seen on TV. I knew you'd clap. And if none of that works, God forbid, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Like, for instance, I think a great idea is you get a celebrity to be the auctioneer. Like, imagine getting, Lord John Soe to be your auctioneer. That'd sell. It's just him standing there going, oh, who wants to buy the most beautiful house in the world? You mightn't understand him, but neither will the bidders. Like, it's great. The final price will be a surprise for all parties concerned. Like, actually, why don't you this would be a great idea. You could get, like, Larry Ebner and get him, like, reprising his role from The Price is Right. Now, any more bids? 300,000, thanks, Larry. Higher. Actually, if none of that works, seriously, you could get an international guest to come down. And as we all possibly saw at the Spring Carnival, Snoop Doggy Dogg is into his house. So, yeah, you could get him to sell your house. How good would that be? Like, Snoop Izzle at your auction izzle, putting on some cold chisel and a sausage sizzle. Like, you can get everyone to just throw your hands in the air and then just take that as a bid. And like, if anyone gets annoyed and go, but I didn't bid for it, you go, oh, but you look like you just didn't care. So there you have it, guys. StudioA's tips for adding value to your home. Okay, don't go away, because we'll be back with What's Hot and What's Not with Jess Harris and our very exciting guest, the Honourable Premier of Victoria, Mr. John Brumby. Thanks for watching StudioA. We'll be back soon. Keep clapping. Well, it's that time again for our weather girl of social trends. Please welcome StudioA's very own Miss Jess Harris.
Hello.
Welcome again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure every week.
It is.
Yeah, it is. No, it really is.
I know. Well, everyone's
Really?
kind of used to the list now, I hope, so I think I'm just going to launch straight into it.
Straight into it?
Yeah.
All right, without further ado.
No more idle chit-chat. I think people are just ready to be educated.
Cut straight to the vein of cool. Ladies and
Why
gentlemen,
not?
this is Jess Harris with What's Hot and What's Not.
Starting with the hot list, we're counting down. Number 10 is bear rugs. Now, I'm against animal cruelty. I'm actually a vegetarian, but nothing says decadence quite like having the skin of a beautiful animal just lying on the ground of the log cabin just to take the chill off the polished floorboards. Number 9 on the hot list is smashing your plates to signal you have completed your meal. Let the waitress know that you're ready for dessert by throwing the dinner plate against the wall. Number 8 on the hot list is buying your way out of things. Say sorry with presents. I say affections can be bought. And number 7 is all things raw. Raw food, footage, performances, just strip it back. Number 6 on the hot list is quietly laughing to yourself. It screams confidence and it makes you look a little bit crazy, which is hot. There's a fine line between crazy and sheer brilliance. Number 5 on the hot list is eating sweets at inappropriate times. Before dinner, first thing in the morning. Don't be held back by what you think breakfast, lunch and dinner should look like. Number 4 on the hot list is hearing your name over public announcements. If you sit at the airport gate for just a little bit too long, the whole airport is going to hear your name. And that's hot. Number 3 on the hot list is test tube babies. Number 2 is all things dinosaur. I never quite get over the fact that they actually existed. When I was looking for an image actually on Google, I was like, nah, these are all fake. I want a real one. Where's the real one? Couldn't find a real one. Number 1 on the hot list. Number 1 is wearing tails. Okay, now I'm not talking about suit tails. I'm talking about little animal tails.
Good.
That's hot.
It is hot. Yeah.
I've always had a thing for wearing tails. I'd love kind of like a motorised one that shows my emotions. It'll happen.
That would make it so much easier, Sky sitting back going, how are you going?
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry
she's
about
angry.
it.
It's just...
She's not good. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. You told us all what was a little bit hot and a little bit spanking.
Yeah.
Now you're going to tell us what's, God forbid, not?
Yeah, I am, because this is serious and this is the mistakes everyone's making. So listen up. This is what is not hot. Counting down. Number 10 is collecting things. Sometimes I think people don't even know where it began. You start off liking something and the next thing you know, you've got a whole room dedicated to it. And then you can guarantee everyone's going to give you that as presents. Oh, Jess, I got you that pig mug because you collect pigs. You'll have so much of it, you'll eventually hate it, but you collect them. Number 9 on the not hot list is making a scene about overpriced items. What? $4 for a bottle of water? No, I'm not paying that out of principle. I am not paying that. Even if it is ridiculously overpriced. Just calmly pay for the item and cry about it later. Number 8 on the not hot list is claims to fame. Try our famous chicken sandwich. Try our famous soup. Who says? You've made that up. I can just say anything's famous. Number 7 on the not hot list is all things middle name, especially saying, oh, impatient. My middle name's impatient. That's not hot. Stop that. Number 6 on the not hot list is ordering for other people. Now, I understand that sometimes kids are too young and their parents need to order for them, but there's nothing fouler than seeing a boyfriend or a girlfriend order for their significant other. I'll have the squid salad and he's going to have the steak sandwich. He's sitting right there. Does he not have a voice? And when the guy orders for the girl, I always feel a little bit worried, like she's being held against her will. I'm tempted to sneak a note in her meal. If you need me to call the police, just blink 3 times. And I've got him on the phone. Number 5 on the not hot list is feeling melancholy. Number 4 is kids going through puberty. They're awkward both physically and socially. Number 3 on the not hot list is cold meat plates. Number 2 is having too much bravado. And number 1 on the not hot list is food describing words. The dress has really sexy spaghetti straps. I'm just wearing my chocolate brown capri pants, and we're going to do a latte coloured feature wall with a yolk yellow splashback. It's disgusting, okay? Stop it. That's what's not hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the world famous Jess Harris.
World famous.
Thank you. Oh, that was quite good, Jess. That's thanks so much for that. It's I do love though that little you know, that little bit when guys do order for the girl. I think there's just that tinge of desperation. You can tell what they're like. You know, like I'll have the steak and she'll have first date 5 tequila shots. I really want this to happen.
Or it's worse if they say, and she'll have the salad because she's watching her weight.
Yeah. Oh, tough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks, Jess Harris. Thank you so much for coming down. Our next guest hardly needs an introduction. I think everybody in this state knows who he is. It's an incredible honour to have him on the show. Please make him welcome the Premier of Victoria, the Honourable Mr. John Brumby. They're crazy tonight.
Great to be on the show. Fantastic.
John So didn't even get a response like that. That's great.
No, John's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very popular man.
Yeah. Now, well, let's get some of the stuff out early. You're a Collingwood supporter, aren't you, John?
Yes!
Teaches you perseverance, doesn't it?
It does, because security will have to drag them out. So, well, you're a Collingwood supporter. That may be... Now I can kind of figure out how Alan Didak stayed in the team. Did you make a phone call and go, no, he's fine, keep him in? You know?
Well, we needed the best possible team. But you know, I started barracking for Collingwood when I was about that high. When I turned 21, my uncle gave me a pair of Collingwood cufflinks. Actually, I've got some Eureka cufflinks on here today, not the Collingwood ones. Yeah. And I've been locked in ever since. Yeah. And you do if you're a Collingwood supporter. Yeah,
I was actually born in Geelong, so I've had that burden.
You might be, just let me guess, you might be a Cat supporter.
Yeah, no, funnily enough. Yeah.
They're a great team.
Except
for this year.
Oh, don't. Is there any way you can get Hawthorn out of the competition? Can you do that by royal decree?
Yeah, well, I used to have...
Jeff Kennett's the president of them, for God's sake. Cut them!
Yeah, and I was going to say that, but he's one of my best mates nowadays. You know?
Is he?
Yeah, he rings me up all the time,
Yeah?
No, he doesn't actually.
Yeah, well, and now you are a bit of a... Well, are you a sporting nut? You like your sport?
Yeah, I like sport. Yeah, I like tennis, swimming, walking, all of those things.
Yeah, now, cricket. I actually heard as well... Soccer as well?
Yeah.
I heard you're a bit of a fan of the Wii as well.
Yeah, no, I've got a 16-year-old at home, Nicholas, and he's watching tonight. Hello, Nick. And
so the Premier gets 31.
Yeah, we get 31. Yeah. So we live in. It's not a perfect signal. So we're in Strathmore, which is near Essendon. But we get. It's a bit wavy, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So we've got the Nintendo. So we play golf.
Yep.
And we play tennis.
Yep.
And there's a boxing game as well.
Yeah.
But it's not the sort of thing that premiers do, you know. Not only in the Parliament.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, you get the opposition leader and just go, come on. He grabs the Wii, you put the actual gloves on, let's go for it. Let's smack on.
Yeah, no, I try to be a statesman.
That's fair. You started out in Bendigo, is that right? You taught Bendigo because you were a teacher.
I went to Bendigo in I don't want to date myself, but 1976. And I went there as a teacher to Eaglehawk Secondary College.
Yeah.
So I was 23 years old.
Yeah, right. Now, have you ever thought of possibly instigating, because I know in Bendigo they have the talking tram. They have the one talking tram. Have you thought about doing that down here? Like making them I mean, in fairness,
Making
most of the time the trams would just go, oh, sorry,
We've got the city circle that goes. Our tram system's good.
Yeah,
we've got the city circle that goes all around. But the talking tram, if you go to Bendigo, it really does talk. It'll tell you all of the history of Bendigo, all of the gold rush, all of the recent history, the post-war history. It's a great thing to do. How many people have been to Bendigo? Yes. Oh, wow, look at that. No, it's a great city. Bendigo's population topped 100,000 people this year.
Really?
Biggest inland city in Victoria. Second biggest in Australia.
I heard there's 52 pubs in Bendigo, which means you can get so drunk and get kicked out of a pub and be banned for a year, and it's not going to make a difference.
No, that's exactly true. In the old, well, that's true. I don't know what the number is. In the old days, when it was a gold rush town, there used to be a pub on every single corner. So so if you did a pub crawl over a kilometre, how many pubs would that be? Answer? A lot. Like a hell of a lot.
I was going to say, by the time you get to the end, you would have lost count.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah. But now you're also, my producer told me this, I'm not sure if you've actually friended him, but you're on Facebook. And he told me last time he looked at it, you got 801 friends.
Well, I hope after tonight we're going to have 802. Dave, come on.
I will ask you to be a ninja, don't you worry about that. We will,
That's good.
How do you find that with your Facebook people? You just just finished Eastlink. Lol.
Good line. No. The site went up. I think.
No, we didn't. Ruffle. No.
No. The site went up, but people join up. I don't know how they join up. They just do, don't they? They just.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because if a person in real life did that, just come in your house and go, "Would you do my thing?"
Yeah,
I suppose.
Well, I'm coming in. Yeah, come in and join me. Get on my Facebook side.
Yeah, poke me. What? It's all.
Anyway, there's 801.
No, that's really good. A lot of you guys use that obviously because K Rudd's now. He's on a bit of MySpace and things. Is this kind of a trend with you guys?
Well, it's a very powerful tool nowadays. It's amazing how many people use the internet, use Facebook, and use all the other internet space. So we have a good site on www.premier.vic.gov.au, and if you get onto that site, guess who you see? You see the Premier. Yeah,
you see JB.
It's a good site. Yeah, you do. You see JB. No, it's an important way now of communicating with people, and we use it a fair bit.
Yeah, great. Now, I suppose after the American election that was on last week, there was obviously a couple of mud thrown around. Some of the governors and possibly some of the Republican governors weren't, I suppose, some of the brightest sparks. Let's put it politely.
It's just a quiz. You're not going to get me on the quiz.
We've got a little bit of a quiz here.
I'll tell you what I thought tonight. I thought Jess Harris was fantastic tonight. And do you know I have someone on my... So I had someone on my staff called Jess Harris. So how about that?
Yeah.
So there's two Jess Harrises.
Yeah.
Yeah, they meet each other tonight. Swap notes.
Yeah.
And but what I really liked, what was the number 9 that Jess had tonight? The What's Hot was that bear rug.
Yeah.
But I reckon she got that from Sarah Palin's house.
Oh, is it?
Don't you reckon that's where it came from?
Now
She's been out. She went out. She got that bear. She brought that bear back, and she put that bear down there on the floor.
That's a very good impersonation. Now, just then, while we're leading into it, there's a couple of questions to know. Some other host may have said, "Are you smarter than a 5th grader?" But are you smarter than a Republican governor? Question 1: is Africa a continent or a country?
Africa is a continent.
Very good. We also would have accepted a hit single from the 80s band Toto. So, very good, very good. Check. Do you know what the G20 is?
Yes, and I watched G1 and I thought it was pretty good. And the sequel G2, it was pretty good. And then by the time we got to G4 was Lethal Weapon 4, and it was still okay.
Yeah.
But by the time I got to G19 and G20, I was sick of it.
Just lost it.
It was boring.
Very good. Yeah. You can tell Kevin Rudd that. And now, also, because of water restrictions, we have to ask you, have you banned our taxi drivers in Melbourne from showering? Or...
So, what about if I stick up for the taxi drivers?
maybe they'll cut the flag fair. That's a good option.
Nah, look, they got a tough job.
Yeah. Now, and lastly, I use trams, mate. I use trams. But now, last question before you go. When you go out on the town, does your wife give you a 2 a.m. curfew?
Well, listen. She actually abolished the curfew recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so no, it's really interesting you asked that because I'd been out pretty late, like a lot recently, and Parliament been sitting late. So Rosemary put in place a 2 a.m. curfew, right? But she said it was just a trial, okay? And it finished recently, and we did this evaluation of it. And the evaluation showed that it was a bit hard to tell whether it worked or not. So we've decided not to continue with it, right? And
there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, John Brumby. Thank you. We'll be right back with Felicity Ward. You're watching StudioA. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest on Studio A is no stranger to television and indeed comedy. She's a regular on Spicks and Specs, was on it last night. She's one of the stars, if you remember, on the Ronnie Johns Half Hour on Channel 10, and at this year's Melbourne Fringe Festival won the Outstanding Newcomer Award for her show. Ugly as a Child variety show. Please put your hands together for the lovely as a lady, Felicity Ward. You look great.
No, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I like to start the show off with a little bit of sexual harassment, so I just thought I'd flash you my knickerbockers before I came on.
John So did the same thing when he was on.
He loves them, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's did that and put them together.
His man's ear.
Yeah, that's right. He did. How did you know?
It's not important why I know that. He just does. So tell me about you.
Now, I did watch you on Spicks and Specs last night.
Did you?
On a real TV show. And no, this is a real TV show, but like that's one with, like money.
Government funding, that much.
Yeah, but, and you were sitting next to like Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
How was that?
It was totally awesome.
Yeah?
But the cool thing is that he was like, the cool thing, he was like, geez Louise, have a sentence. The most thing that he was excited about was what his son thought, because his son came along with him and he was sitting in the audience and halfway through was like, how am I going, James? Is it all right? And he was like, yeah, Dad, you're doing really well. But he was like this music nut. He had all the answers. That's
so weird. Like he's got an Oscar for God's sake, and he's still looking at his son going, is it any good?
Love me.
His son's like a director, just going, I think it's a bit laboured.
I don't know, Dad. You kind of look like a hack. I liked you better in the first film.
Now, do you get to meet a couple of cool people like that when you're on Spicks and Specs?
Yeah. Or Christine Arnoux was on that one. That was pretty cool. The Wiggles were on that one. That was pretty cool.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, they did I can't remember what they did a rockin' cover of. But was it U2?
Yeah, it was U2. No, it was the
not
Beatles
important.
or something. Yeah.
Look, hey.
Yeah.
What have I been drinking? Let me tell you something about the Beatles in my day.
We have drink here? Oh, God. This is great. Now, have you, you've been on the Ronnie Johns Half Hour?
Yes.
Yes. And did you get to do, cool rock starry stuff with them?
We did one kind of rock starry thing, and it was kind of by accident.
Yeah.
We got nominated for a Logie, and I laughed because it was only because of lack of competition that we sort of got in. And so we're at this preview drinks thing, feeling like we're stealing free alcohol, and there's all these famous people around. And they said, all right, you've got to get in your limousine. And we're literally across the road from Crown or wherever it was.
Yeah.
And so I didn't understand why we had to get in a limousine, so we got in there anyway. They drove across the road, and there's these bleachers and screaming teenagers going, oh my God, is it going to be a Halloween star? Oh my God, is it going to be a Nathan star? Oh my God, who's it going to be? And we open the car door and it goes, no! Who are they? And so there's 6 of us, and we pile out of the limousine onto the red carpet. we're just sort of standing there and we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
We've clearly never done it before. And the security guard comes up and goes, can you not loiter on the red carpet, please? If you could just move along. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, that's cool. And so we get into the foyer and then Dan gets frisked because we had all this...
Dan Illich
got frisked because we had all this flour because we were going to come on and have like flour all over our nose and pretend that we're on cocaine, us crazy comedy kids. We didn't, we checked out, we were weak. But then the next section you go to, there's like 50 photographers and there's a little podium and the Logie symbol in the background. And so we all got up there and literally I saw one of the photographers go, who are they? And the other one turned to him and goes, I don't know. And so they started just sympathy clicking and we're just standing there like the fat girl on prom night, just going, oh, nobody knows who we are. And then the best part of the evening was the security guard came up to me and Kaz, the other girl who was on the show. They went, yeah, can we just get a photo without the girlfriends?
Oh.
Thanks, Channel 9. Thank you. Really, I feel valid.
That's a great opportunity for Heath Franklin to jump in with his chopper and just go,
You're fucking kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Now, unfortunately, we kind of have to wrap it up quickly because we had to start off a little bit late.
That's all right.
But-
You've probably had enough of me anyway.
No. I saw your show. I did say it was great at the Fringe Festival. We went on, I did. I liked it. I'm not getting paid for that.
You're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Oh. We love seeing Dave starve. Yeah, don't pay rent.
This audience just needs to go past Centrelink. Just go, we love your work. You guys aren't getting paid. Say teabag. That's brilliant.
Do they just get free cocaine when they come in here? No, I'm genuine. I think we're communicating. He's presenting.
That was the one Polish guy just yodeling from earlier on. But now, Flick, is it going to be? Are you going to reprise it for the comedy festival? Possibly the show.
Yes,
you are.
Yeah, I'm going to do it for Adelaide Fringe and for Melbourne Comedy Festival as well.
Guys, it's well worth going down. It's Felicity Ward's. What was the full?
Felicity Ward's Ugly as a Child variety show.
Yeah, it really is. It is very, very good show. Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Felicity Ward for coming down. We'll be right back with regular Fox Klein and comedy and Carol Chandler. StudioA. Okay, well, it's that time again when we welcome one of Studio A's regulars here to bring us some insight into the weird, wide world around us. Please welcome Fox Klein with Fox Pops.
Good. Good to be here.
What's happening in the his hour of Fox?
I wanted to talk about traffic, Dave. Melbourne traffic, driving around. You drive around Melbourne?
I did, and today it was terrible.
Yeah, it's shocking. I wanted to talk about, because it's hard, especially if you're not used to it, hook turns. Anyone hook turns? Yeah. No. This is hook turns made my mum swear. Like we were driving along and we were in the city and she had to make a right turn and I said, Ma, you're gonna have to make a right turn. I think you're gonna have to do a hook turn. And she went, hook turn? Fuck that.
You dropped an F-bomb.
Yeah, and because my mum's really religious, so it was weird, right? And because she didn't say the actual, she went, which just emphasises what you didn't say. That just makes it a lot worse. But anyway, so we're in the city, we're driving along, and we had to. When I drive, when you have to do a hook turn, it's the worst because you're blocking traffic. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there's like they're all there and you can feel them staring at you. And you're staring up at the lights like, oh, I can't handle this, this is not good. I feel like my worst nightmare is that I think I'm going to break down right there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? If I break down right there, I feel like that, like everyone's just going to get out of their cars, they're going to flip my shit like I'm in a prison, like a soccer riot or something. They're going to flip my car. Or I'm going to miss the change and they're all just going to ram me at once. And then I have to call the insurance company and explain how I got hit by three cars at exactly the same time. But the thing is, like, there's a lot of road rage in Melbourne too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you
Yeah.
had an experience today, like something bad happened. But I get mad at people for things that I do. Like, like I get mad at people for texting. Right? I see someone texting and I'm like, oh, that is so irresponsible. That's so, like, you should do it down here. Like, that's a lot safer. Like, which is, like, if you do it down here, it's cool, but like, so people can't see you texting, but now it just looks like you're driving, like, while you're staring at your legs. And you just look up occasionally, check it out, oh, okay, that's how I... but yeah, so, like, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I get that. I've been pulled over for that, for texting.
Have you?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, when your hand's down there and you're giving it a little bit of this, it's kind of like, what alternative you have? You go, oh.
Yeah.
I was playing with myself.
I'm sorry.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, exactly. And I get, like, because I get so mad, especially if someone does something that makes me swerve. Do you know what I mean? Like, I will chase them. Like, I'm like, you idiot, that was so dangerous. And I'm swerving in and out of traffic now. Like, I'm sorry, this idiot cut me off. And I'm like, I get so angry when I'm driving. One time my GPS was like, dude, calm down. Like, it was like, in 100 meters, take a chill pill. And like, have you ever given the, I don't know if I can do it on TV, I won't, but have you ever given the finger, Dave?
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not confident enough to like just throw it up, so I like do it under the door as I go past.
Yes.
Do you ever do that? Right, you're just like, yeah, and you're smiling, and I'm like, you don't know what I'm doing under here, right? But you gotta time it, you gotta be careful because you can't just go throwing out insults and throwing at the finger, unless you, like, because you don't know who's in that car.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it could be like a car full of skinheads, right? So you gotta be careful. But what I've worked out is no matter how angry you get at the person who's done something to you, like, you're only just a glimpse in the mirror for them. You know what I mean? Like, they're just going to look back in the mirror and just see you getting angry for a second. Like, they don't really know exactly how angry you are. Or sometimes they don't even know that you're angry. So this is why I think that all cars should be made out of that stuff that mood rings are made out of. Right? So if you're driving along and the car behind you is glowing red, you know you screwed up somehow. And you have to pull over and maybe give them a back rub until they turn back to light blue or something. That's all I have so far on how to solve the problem. Cutting it
short. Brilliant. Now, next for all of y'alls is another Studio A regular, and he's a Melbourne comedy favourite, a very, very funny guy. Please welcome Carl Chandler.
Hi, my name's Carl. I was in a restaurant and the waiter was telling me the specials, and he said, the soup of the day is tomato with a hint of basil. And I was like, dude, that's not a hint. You just freaking gave it away. The key to a good hint is not to put the answer within it. Here's an example of what maybe you could say next time. The soup of the day is tomato plus something beginning with B. I like to go to the library and get out all the books on feng shui, put them back in the wrong section. I wonder if midgets call mini golf golf. And then call regular golf maxi golf. Thank you, left wing. A lot of people don't like personalised number plates, but I do, because I think they're helpful. Because if I meet someone for the first time and they've just got a regular number plate, sometimes it can take me months before I find out that they're a dickhead. But if your number plate is too hot for you, I'm like, case closed. I've got an awesome girlfriend. She's gorgeous. The only thing that makes her not quite perfect is she doesn't really get jokes. Like she thinks they're funny and everything, but once they get into her ear, they do this sort of tumble dry moment where they just swirl around all the details, the punchlines, and just get in completely the wrong order. And then she'll tell me my joke back to me, and it will break my freaking mind. So I'll just tell you some of my jokes, and then I'll tell you verbatim how she has told them back to me. My joke. Sometimes I think I'm a bit like a woman. If I go somewhere at night and someone else is wearing the exact same outfit that I am, I'll just throw a hissy fit and go home straight away and get changed. And that's why I'm no longer allowed to play indoor soccer. That's my joke. Her joke. I was playing indoor soccer and everyone was wearing the same outfit. What's up with that? If you could just clap my jokes. This isn't working out at all. All right, my joke. I used to argue a lot when I was a kid with my little brother, and one time I got so mad at him that I made a voodoo doll of him, and then I kind of forgot about it, and I was cleaning up my room, and I put it in the closet, and now he's gay. That's better. Go for it, Diane. My brother has dolls. He puts them in a cupboard. What a gay. One more. My one. Okay. I think a lot of guys have like weird sexual fantasies, or they've got something, some sort of little cliche happening, like whether it's a nurse's outfit or a school uniform. The only thing I could say that, in my defence, that I don't have is I've never had a thing about, sleeping with the boss's daughter. Probably because I work for my dad. But mainly because she's ugly. I did it with my sister. And Dad was like, "You're fired." Thank you, everyone. I've been Carl, and thanks, Diane. Good work, Carl.
Should have had you on last week. Yeah.
Thank you, Carl. Keep watching StudioA. We'll be right back with Tom Woodward and his band, The Orphanage. See you soon. Guys, we've had a massive show on tonight. The audience have been really good, and I think before we go, we should thank all the regulars for being on. Obviously, Jess Harris was here. Carl Chandler did a great job on his stand-up, and Fox Klein, Felicity Ward, and of course, the Honourable Premier of Victoria, Mr. John Brumby. Now, thanks. Yeah. Tonight, as always, to close the show out, we are joined by a brilliant local band. This week, it's Tom Woodward and his band, The Orphanage. Tom has an album launch Thursday, November 27th at the Evelyn Hotel in Fitzroy. So if you like this, go along. Here they are playing their epic song. So strap in for Tom Woodward and The Orphanage with their song, Jimmy the Hustler. I've been Dave Thornton. Good Nacht.
For a year, the job was waiting tables, clearing coffee, cups and beer. So she stood in a queue for hours with cripples, junks and pimps. And when she got to the counter, they said, "Get home quick, your phone is gonna ring. And if it rings and you're not there, it'll be 2 more weeks of waiting for your consultation." so she'd have to get a taxi, but she did not have the fare. They just said, we're sorry, darling, but we cannot help you there. How am I supposed to know? Where am I supposed to go? Well, the hours turned to years, she children's mouths to feed. 1 6, the other 11, and the oldest took the lead. His name was Jimmy Jackson, he was a fighter and a thief. He got them both to school, avoid a fair evasion place. When mother, she had contacts, but she swore she'd never ring. Cause stealing dope and weapons, it never was a thing. How am I supposed to know? Where am I supposed to go? We've been waiting a long time. Jimmy hated teachers, not one of them he'd trust. The other children feared him for his hatred and his guts. Well, his father was a boxer, had scars upon his fist, but he disappeared one evening after drinking too much piss. Well, mother had another, she did not muck around, but he ripped her up and left her weeping on the ground. Oh, how am I supposed to know? Where am I supposed to go? We've been waiting a long time. Jimmy was a soldier. He said, if that's how it's gonna be, by the time I get to 20, this whole town will belong to me. So he started out running errands the only way he knew he could. And he soon moved up the ladder from the school to the neighborhood. Well, moving through the darkness, an apprentice had drawn blood. It was time to mark his ground in the underworld of mud. So he set up camp and waited outside his rival's place. And he made his entrance to the scene with a bullet to the face. How am I supposed to know? Where am I supposed to go? We've been waiting a long time. He made himself a general. He put soldiers by his side. He built his house of buddies and rules that he defied. Well, he bought a chain of grocers and he set up one night stands. He told his ma, I'm still your boy even though I'm now a man. And she looked on so proudly at the jewelry in her wealth and all the vapid luxuries that satisfied herself. Oh, Jimmy was a soldier, a very own Hercules. He rescued her from suicide and self-society. How am I supposed to go? Where am I supposed to go? We've been waiting a long time. On the corner, preaching revolution, God. There's anarchists, and populists, and imitators of the Lord. There's beggars, driving vans, and royalty in rags. There's signs on the sidewalks saying, open up your bags. There's a burglar in the kitchen, sitting on the food. In school they teach the children that it's polite to be rude. There's 100,000 Jimmys and 100,000 saints, feeding off the failures of 100,000 dreams. And tell me, mother, just why must I be true when life is just a painting blue all over you? How am I supposed to know? Where am I supposed to go?